The rain poured heavily outside the small suburban home in Portland, Oregon. It had been gray for days, as if the sky itself carried the same weight of guilt and confusion that hung inside the walls of the Miller household. Emily Miller, a 21-year-old college student, stood by her bedroom window, staring through the blurry glass at the man stepping out of the old blue truck that had just pulled into their driveway. Her heart sank. She knew that truck. She knew the man. Mark. The man her mother once loved. And the man Emily could never forgive. Downstairs, the sound of the front door opening echoed through the hall, followed by her mother's voice, soft but trembling with hope. Mark, I didn't think you'd actually come. Emily's mother, Linda Miller, had always been a woman of second chances. She believed people could change. That time healed everything. But Emily knew better. Some wounds never healed. Some things couldn't be undone. Mark stepped inside, rainwater dripping from his jacket. His once dark hair had streaks of gray now, and the years had drawn worry lines across his face. He looked older, more tired, but Emily's stomach twisted as she remembered what he had done years ago. Her childhood had ended the night her father left. And though Mark had entered their lives soon after, charming, helpful, always there to fix what was broken, Emily had learned that not all kindness was genuine. One evening, when she was only 15, she had overheard something. A conversation between Mark and her mother that changed the way she saw him forever. It wasn't a crime. It wasn't a secret affair. It was worse in a quieter, more destructive way. Mark had gambled away their savings, money meant for Emily's college, her future, and then lied about it. He had stolen Linda's trust, leaving them drowning in debt and broken promises. And now, after years of silence, her mother had let him back in. Emily came downstairs slowly, each step heavy with disbelief. The smell of coffee filled the air, familiar, warm, almost mocking. Emily, her mother said gently, as if preparing her for something fragile. Mark's here. He just wants to talk. Emily's voice trembled. You said you were done with him. I thought I was, Linda replied, her eyes glistening. But people can change, honey. He's been through a lot. He reached out. He wants to make things right. Mark's voice was softer than she remembered. Emily, I know I have no right to ask you to forgive me. What I did was wrong. I hurt your mom, I hurt you. But I'm trying to be better. Emily crossed her arms, the ache in her chest fighting to stay calm. It's been 6 years. You can't just walk back like nothing happened. I'm not asking for that, he said. Just a chance to prove that I'm not the same man I was. Her mother looked between them, her voice breaking. I don't want us to keep living in anger. We've all lost too much already. The silence that followed was thick, broken only by the faint hum of the refrigerator. Emily wanted to scream, to remind her mother of every sleepless night, every unpaid bill, every tear shed in the dark. But when she saw the way Linda looked at Mark, tired, hopeful, desperate for peace, Emily couldn't bring herself to destroy it. Days passed. Mark stayed in the guest room, the same room that once held boxes of Emily's childhood things. She avoided him as much as she could, leaving early for class, coming home late, pretending that silence was her way of coping. But one evening, she came home early and found him fixing the broken porch light. Couldn't stand seeing it dark out here, he said with a faint smile. Emily hesitated. It's just a light. Maybe, he replied, but sometimes small things make big differences. His words lingered in her mind longer than she wanted to admit. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, almost unwillingly, Emily saw her mother laugh again. Genuinely laugh, for the first time in years. Mark cooked dinner, helped with chores, even found steady work at a mechanic's shop nearby. He wasn't perfect, but he was present. Still, Emily couldn't trust him. Every smile felt like a trick, every kind gesture like a setup. She told herself he was only pretending, that sooner or later, he'd break her mother's heart again. One night, as she sat by the kitchen table working on her psychology assignment, Mark came in quietly, holding 2 mugs of tea. You've been studying late every night, he said. Thought you could use something warm. Emily didn't look up. Thanks. He sat across from her, the awkwardness heavy between them. After a long silence, he spoke softly. I know it's hard to believe me. I don't blame you. But I've spent the last few years trying to fix the mess I made. I went to therapy. I stopped gambling. I'm trying to be someone your mom, and maybe someday you, could respect again. Emily stared at him, searching for cracks in his sincerity. But all she saw was a man haunted by regret. Why now? She asked quietly. Because guilt gets heavy after a while, he said. And because I realized that fixing what's broken starts with facing the people you hurt. Something shifted in her heart that night. Not forgiveness, but maybe the first step toward it. One Sunday morning, Emily woke to the smell of pancakes and laughter. Downstairs, Mark was flipping pancakes while her mom danced around the kitchen, humming an old tune from when Emily was little. The sight was strange, surreal even, but not entirely unpleasant. "Morning, sleepyhead," Linda teased. "We're celebrating. Mark just got promoted." Emily smiled weakly. "That's good." Mark turned to her, hesitant. "I know this doesn't erase what I did, but I'm grateful your mom believed I could be better. I hope someday you'll see it too." For the first time, Emily didn't feel anger when he spoke. Just a dull ache, the kind that comes when old wounds start to heal. Then came the call. Late one evening, while Linda was out visiting a friend, Emily received a phone call from an unknown number. It was Mark's coworker. "There's been an accident," the voice said, trembling. "Mark, he's at the hospital." The world blurred. Emily rushed out the door, her hands shaking as she drove through the rain. When she arrived, she found her mother already there, pale, eyes red from crying. "He was helping someone," the nurse explained. "A car had broken down on the side of the road. Another driver didn't see them. He pushed the man out of the way. Mark survived, but barely." Weeks in recovery followed. Linda never left his side, sleeping in the hospital chair, whispering prayers into the quiet night. Emily visited every day, sitting quietly by his bed, the sound of the heart monitor steady and fragile. When Mark finally woke, his first words were, "Is your mom okay?" That simple question broke something inside Emily. The man she'd hated for years had risked his life for a stranger. And even after everything, his first thought was her mother. Months later, Mark returned home, weaker, slower, but still smiling. The family that had once been broken was learning, day by day, to be whole again. One evening, Emily found herself standing by that same window where it had all begun. The rain fell again, gentle and steady. Mark joined her, his voice low. "I used to think forgiveness was a gift someone gave you," he said. "But it's not. It's something you have to earn, over and over." Emily nodded, tears welling in her eyes. "You're earning it." For the first time in years, she meant it.